Good morning. My name is Lori Blanton. I work with UC International Services as the program manager for our student services and support team. We want to welcome you to our UCI Services panel information session. We are so pleased that you could join us this morning and thrilled that you have decided to further your education at UC. Today's session will include both pre-recorded videos and a live panel presentation. So I want to introduce you to our panelists. If you guys just want to say hello. Katie, would you like to start?
Hello, my name is Katie Dockstader. I work with Lori as a program coordinator in international student support services. Nice to meet you all. Glad that you're with us.
James?
My name is James. I'm with UC International Services, and I'm also glad that you're here with us today.
And Sarah?
Hi, everyone. We're happy you're here with us. My name is Sarah O'Connell, and I'm one of the immigration advisors in UC International. We're happy you're here.
Yeah, so this morning we're going to answer your questions regarding your immigration status and your options and rights as a UC student here in the US. We're going to connect you to campus and community resources that will help keep you informed. We'll share some event and workshop details that will help you thrive at UC and really feel like you're a part of our Bearcat family. Additionally, today we welcome Amanda from University Health Services. She's going to be discussing student health appointments, vaccines, and our current COVID resources. Amanda, would you like to say good morning?
Hi, my name is Amanda Donor. I am the program manager with University Health Services, and we are here to serve any kind of health, mental health, and medical health needs that you might have. And I'm going to be going over our immunization requirements and processes for this semester.
Great, thank you. Katie.
Okay, so some general reminders just for this session today. This is going to be an informal session with some opportunities for y'all to ask questions. This first section, which is going to be about 30 minutes, we're going to be presenting a lot of information. So we're going to try and keep it a bit engaging with a mix of videos and live conversations. So please excuse any sort of technical difficulties that we may experience as we switch between these elements. During the informational sessions, you should be muted, your video should be off, and please save your questions for the Q&A at the end of the presentation. You can also put those in a chat at any time, which we will try to answer during the Q&A. Very specific and personal questions should be emailed to internationalstudent@ucmail.uc.edu. That is our office email. I'm putting that in the chat. And this will also go out with the recording. About the buttons and functions in this room, to switch between gallery view, which is seeing everyone, and then switching to speaker or presentation, you can just click the option in the top right corner to go between those two. The chat button is located at the bottom of your screen, and that's where you can type your questions in and we can answer those. For any reason, if you get disconnected, the sessions are being recorded, so you can get those links directly from the weekly UCI Services newsletter. If you have any more questions that you didn't get a chance to ask here today, you're more than welcome to come visit us at our weekly virtual office hours on Thursdays at 3 p.m. We will remind you about this again at the end of the presentation. And that's it from us, for me. Then I'm going to put on a first video. So hold on a sec while I share my screen. Okay, can you see that? Is that good? Okay, let's see if we can hear it. Can you hear that?
I cannot hear anything.
I did not share it for audio. That is my bad. It's been a second since I've had to share a screen. Okay. Optimize, share. Okay. Let me just go back. How about now?
Welcome to the University of Cincinnati. As an international student, you are a valued member of our global community here at UC.
Today, we are going to introduce you to a little bit of your home away from home, which is UC International.
So UC International is comprised of 4 units. We have our planning department,
Study abroad,
international admissions.
and international services.
Everyone is here to help you throughout your educational journey at UC.
So let's go check in with our staff at UC International and see how they can help you along the way. UC International is on the 7th floor at Edward Center 1.
Whenever you have questions or concerns, you can always find help here.
Follow us.
And we'll go take a look.
Hello everyone, welcome to the University of Cincinnati. My name is Ron Cushing and I'm the Director of UC International Services. On behalf of our office and the entire university community, I want to welcome you to the University of Cincinnati. We are honored that you've decided to pursue your educational objectives with us, and we're going to do everything we can to ensure that your experience here is a positive one. We know that your decision to study in the United States and here at UC was made after months, if not years, of hard work, dedication, and tough decisions by you and your family. You need to understand that the challenge you are about to embark upon is going to be a difficult one, but it will also be rewarding. Our office is going to help you meet those challenges and obtain those rewards. You should know that you're joining a very large and exciting international community. You're going to be part of more than 3,000 enrolled international students from more than 100 different countries from across the world. UC International Services is responsible for making sure that you understand all the rules and regulations that you need to follow as an international student and providing you with the proper authorizations along the way. While you're studying, you're going to need to travel. Many of you are in programs that involve co-op or capstones that require work assignments during your stay. You may change your degree level or your program of study. Some of you may have dependents who need to come and be with you. There's a whole host of immigration regulations you need to follow, and we're going to make sure you understand those rules and provide you with the proper authorizations. We have highly trained staff who are available to help answer all of your questions, and we encourage you to contact us when you need help. Please make sure you address all immigration and visa questions to our office. Don't ask your friends, don't ask your college advisor or your departmental advisor. Make sure all visa and immigration questions are addressed to our staff. We also provide you with a host of programming activities during your stay here. Certainly during the first few weeks, you're going to be invited to participate in a lot of welcome and arrival activities. And then throughout your stay, we are going to provide you with opportunities to engage in programs that will help you learn about U.S. culture, the university, the city of Cincinnati, and the U.S. in general. I can assure you that the students who take advantage of those opportunities are the students that leave here with the most positive experiences. So please take advantage of those programs when you have the opportunities. So welcome to UC. We look forward to helping you obtain all of your personal and academic objectives.
As Ron mentioned, UC International is here mainly for immigration advising and student support.
Let's check in with some of our international advisors and learn from them all that we can about keeping up to date your visa.
All right. Well, again, welcome to UC. I'm so glad you're here, and my name is James. James Tenney. I'm the Associate Director for UC International Services, and again, welcome to America. For some of you, this may be your first time, and during the summer semester, we're sure this will be exciting and perhaps even challenging as you begin your studies here in the summer term. But if you ever feel lost or confused, please contact our office. Our website has all our contact details, including our phone number, which is 513-556-4278, and our email address, which is international.students@uc.edu. Or you can stop by our office and speak to one of our advisors. We always have an advisor on call called the Advisor of the Day to help answer your general questions. And we are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
You will find that most of our services start with iBearCats Global. Before arriving on campus, you've been logging in using the new student option, which asks for your M number, your PIN, and your date of birth. It is extremely important that you complete the pre-arrival checklist immediately after arriving to the U.S. This is how we process your immigration record, and not completing it could put your status in jeopardy. Likewise, it is a requirement of your immigration status to keep our office updated with your local address and phone number. These can be updated in Catalyst under the My Profile tile. Your address here in Cincinnati should be updated with the mailing address option. You can find examples of how to correctly format a U.S. address in the pre-arrival checklist under the Mandatory Personal Information tab. After arrival to the U.S. and completing the pre-arrival checklist, you will need to start logging into iBearCats Global using the current student login function. This will ask for your UC username and password, and it'll look just like when you log into your UC email account and other systems at UC. This will allow you to see the full range of services you need after arrival, which you cannot see with the limited services option. Immigration rules can change often and can be confusing, never more so than during this continued pandemic. We're here today to try and make it clear what the rules are for summer 2022 and beyond.
So first of all, your full-time enrollment must be at least 12 credit hours at the undergraduate level and 10 credits for those who are at the graduate level. Typically, you can only use one course or 3 credit hours of online courses to meet the full-time requirement threshold. During the summer and during this time when we're still in the pandemic, this is waived. And so at least one course must be in person and the others can be online. But be careful, this will change in the fall semester when we go back to normal, as they say. When we go back to normal, only one course, 3 credit hours of online courses can be used to meet the full-time 12 or 10 credit hour requirement. Courses listed as in-person or PD, partially distance, count as an in-person course. Those that are marked as online or MD, mostly distance, are considered online courses. If you ever need to take fewer courses because perhaps you're experiencing an academic struggle or you have a health issue, please submit the reduced course load e-form in iBearCats Global, and we will help you grant you permission to lower your course load for that particular term for that particular reason.
Your I-20 identifies who you are and what you are doing here in the U.S. For example, it shows which school you're studying at and which degree you're pursuing. It also tells you and our office how much time you have left to complete that degree. If you're going to change your plan, maybe change your major, degree level, maybe you need more time, or maybe you're going to go to a different school, you will need a new I-20 for all of these things. You can do most of these things by requesting them through iBearCats Global. This is most important if you need more time to finish your current degree program. You have to submit an extension request before your I-20 expires. So make sure to look at that document, know what that expiration date is, and keep that in mind as you pursue your studies. Keep in mind, however, that it is okay for your F1 or J1 visa stamp in your passport to expire. You are not required to renew your visa while you are inside of the US. But if you travel after it expires, you will need to renew it at the US Embassy or consulate in your home country. You cannot renew a visa inside of the US. Your passport, however, can be renewed at your home country's embassy or consulate inside the US. You should always keep your passport current, even if you're not planning on traveling anytime soon.
Now, travel signatures. At some point, you may want to go home during the winter break or maybe next summer. And this means you will need a travel signature placed on page 2 of your I-20 or on page 1 of your DS 2019 if you are in J1 status. And guess where you can get this request done? That's right, iBearCats Global. It will take us 5 business days to process that request and issue that travel signature. So when you have major travel plans, submit the e-form as soon as possible. please don't wait until a day or two before you're actually getting on the plane to go home.
On-campus employment is something you may be interested in. As an F1 or J1 student, you can work on campus up to 20 hours per week in the fall and spring semesters, and more than 20 hours per week during the summer, spring, and winter break. When you have been offered an on-campus job, whether it's with a UC office or a non-UC employer, such as in food services, please log on to iBearcats Global and submit the Employment Eligibility Verification/Onboarding e-form, and we will be happy to help you complete the hiring process. OPT and CPT are types of off-campus work permits. These are to help you to obtain practical experience for the stuff you're learning in your degree program. Most of you won't need these or even qualify to use these in your first academic year of study, but as you get further into your career, we have details located on our website and in iBearcats Global.
Finally, taxes. Taxes can be really confusing, especially for Americans, let alone international students. But the basic thing you need to know right now is that every year, international students will have to file an annual report on what they got paid, how they got taxed, and how they should have been taxed. Even if you earned no US income, there's a form for you to file. But don't be concerned about this. We do provide help with this every year. It's a fairly straightforward process. Now, we do hope that operations will continue to be normal for the rest of the academic year. Hopefully this pandemic is coming to an end. And so we're here for you to help you with any questions or concerns that you may have through the summer term and beyond. And so if at any point you have any questions, please do send us an email, give us a call, or stop by our office. And again, as Mr. Cushing indicated earlier, if you have any questions, please contact us. That's what we're here for. Okay, now Lori, do we go back to you here?
Yep, we're gonna go into our second video. I'm gonna share my screen for that.
Katie, this is the first video. We need to go to the second video.
As an international
Give me one moment. Can we pause the recording real quick?
The UC International website is filled with tons of resources and information about your visa, the university, and more. If you ever have a question or want to know where to go, consider our website your first stop. However, much of the way you'll interact with our office involves using our online system, iBearcats Global. Up until this point, you've probably been using the limited services. Now you can use the full services for students and scholars to submit e-forms, make requests, and more. Sagar, an international student in engineering, was on co-op last semester. In order to do co-op, he had to get authorization for CPT. Let's hear his advice about how to work with our office to get CPT authorization.
For the CPT process, I think it has been really helpful keeping in touch with UC International. I definitely think it's a learning curve. You kind of need to understand how the CPT process works. So my first few times, I would say, I wasn't sure what to do. So what I did was I set up an appointment with the immigration officer. Within 2 days, you can get the appointment. You can go and talk to them about, any questions you have. After submitting the request on iBearcats Global, usually what I do is follow up next day with them over the phone, just calling the reception office, and they're pretty responsive. Even if there's a delay, they would let you know that we'll get to you in 2 days or 3 days, and it's been a pretty smooth process. In general, they were really helpful and friendly in answering all the questions I have.
Hey Bearcats! Welcome to UC.
In addition to the immigration services that we provide, UC International also provides a welcoming, inclusive, and safe space for international students. We can give you resources, strategies, and tools to help you accommodate to life at UC and in Cincinnati. Here's just a small example of the events that we've put on in years past.
I think the favorite part interacting with UC International and all the community around here was knowing someone from a country in Europe is equal to like traveling through their eyes and understanding how their country is. So that was really precious, I think.
iPals to me is where you can make friends from around the world and also learn their experiences, share your experiences as well, along with we can support and help each other along the ways. My freshman year, I wish I learned about iPals, how I could have made all the friends I have now earlier on and all the opportunities I could have joined before as well.
I think one advice I would like to give international students would be to get out of your comfort zone. Sometimes things can be very frustrating and it could be a lot of work, but once you step out, try to learn about new things, try to learn about the culture in the US, it just starts becoming more and more beautiful, and it comes easier to like make new friends and just understand the differences we have and just embrace it together.
All right, I hope that that gave you a little taste of what you might expect to enjoy in your social life at UC. We are at UCI Services here to provide social and academic support so that you have a holistic, positive experience at UC. Our team includes me, Katie, and we have 2 graduate assistants. We will communicate with you through Instagram, Facebook, Campus Link, and our weekly newsletter. If you aren't following us on social media, we encourage you to start today. The weekly newsletter is going to show up in your UC inbox on Tuesdays. Katie and I oversee mailing the newsletter. The newsletter is going to include immigration updates and UCI event listings. There'll also be some campus and community resources. And that will show up the first Tuesday of the month, but you should read the newsletter thoroughly each week. Our events and workshops and meetups this summer will be mostly in person. Information to these events will be shared via social media, Campus Link, and our weekly newsletter. Katie?
Yeah, so as you saw in that video, iPals are a big part of our presence here at UC and International UC. So that stands for International Partners and Leaders, iPals, and that includes both domestic and international students, grads and undergrads. And they will be at hand on these events to extend a peer-to-peer welcome, and they're also available for your questions. So you can reach out to them. They're a fantastic resource, and you should be able to identify them by their iPals t-shirts and smiling faces. So UCI also hosts a weekly English conversation group on Thursday evenings that you might like to attend. So that's a great opportunity to just casually come and improve your English language skills. You can also act as a conversation partner to help others. and that is currently held in a virtual space. Super fun if you wanted to join. Information about how to join that group will appear in the newsletter. It's a great way to meet new people, and we will also be sending out the summer schedule for that in the newsletter. So we would encourage you to reach out to us with any questions, to remind you of how you can get in touch with people on campus, kind of build community. We also would like to introduce a super cool resource that we've released recently called the iPal Scout Map. I am going to drop that in the chat, the link for that. But that's just a super cool map that kind of lets you know more about the surrounding area around campus, and some different things to look out for. So if you have a free afternoon or you're trying to find out where to go to eat for lunch, maybe go look at the Scout Map. We also have our summer admins welcome event. We are holding a picnic, so we'll be doing a campus tour, picnic lunch, and playing some games. And I will send the sign up link for that as well in the chat. That is this week on the 6th. So if you are watching this recorded, be sure to sign up ASAP so that we can know what to expect you there. That is this Friday. So we will be seeing you there 11:30 to 1:30. Our office is open Monday to Thursday. This says Thursday? Friday. Okay. I was like, Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, and we are located in Edwards Center 1, Suite 7148. You can also call at 513-556-4278 or email us at international.students@uc.edu. So again, that is in the chat, and I will put that in again. There's that. And then again, we have our virtual Ask an Advisors on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at via Zoom. And then also our website has a lot of information. So if you just want to scope that out, great resource as well. You can also follow us on social media to stay in touch.
Okay, great. Now we're going to transition a little bit and introduce Amanda once again from University Health Services. And she's going to give us some tips and tricks to work with their office.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and share my screen here. It's saying host disabled participant screen sharing.
Let me see if we can't get that for you. All right, give it a try now, Amanda, and see if that works.
Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, can you guys see the slides?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so again, my name is Amanda. I am with University Health Services, and I'm going to be going over some immunization requirements and processes and tips and tricks and all of that. So we are located here on main campus. We're in the Lindner Athletic Center, which if you can see this image, it's the little, it's a big gray building with all the small triangle windows right next to Nippert Stadium. We're located on the 3rd floor there. We are open every day except Wednesdays, 8:30 to 5, and then Wednesdays, 9:30 to 5. So services that we provide vary. We provide a variety of services, primary care services, so that will include sick and well visits, women's health, gender health, physicals, immunizations. We also have mental health services, and that includes both counseling and psychiatry. We have a lab here. We also have dermatology, a pharmacy. We have an in-house pharmacy, radiology, and then we do provide travel health, immunizations, screenings, things like that. And then we do now offer telehealth visits as well, so that you could, that's an option if you would prefer that versus coming in person. So immunizations available at UHS are all listed here. This does include the requirements that you are required to have to attend UC, but this also includes immunizations outside of that. Some people need these vaccinations for travel and other situations. We do also do urine drug screens if that's something that you need for your program. If you're in a health sciences program, we do urine drug screens for those programs often. And we do TB testing, which I'll go into further. Okay, so immunization compliance. The required immunizations for all incoming undergraduate, graduate, and professional students attending any campus, main campus, the medical campus over on the east side, UC Blue Ash or Claremont, are as follows. For international students, you must have a TB test, and that involves a blood draw, hepatitis B, measles, mumps, rubella, meningococcal, a Tdap, varicella. Strongly recommended, but not required, are these for COVID, flu, HPV, and Men-B, and then it's also recommended to have hepatitis A. So we offer all of these vaccinations here on campus at UHS. Why the University of Cincinnati has immunization and health screening requirements to protect the health of individual students and the campus as a whole. Infectious diseases are of particular concern to universities due to the large number of students living and working together in close quarters. There have been recent outbreaks that have occurred on campuses across the United States, and these requirements for UC are based upon a review of national, state, and local recommendations and requirements. So for international students, you are required to complete a tuberculosis screening upon arrival to UC. This is mandatory. The process for that would be, upon arrival, call UHS, our phone number is listed here, for an appointment for a TB screening. When you call for an appointment, you'll be required to sign up for a UC Health MyChart account, and that's an electronic health record. It's where you can manage appointments, you can send messages to your doctors, all that kind of stuff. At your appointment, you will fill out a TB screening questionnaire, and then depending on your responses to that questionnaire, you will likely have a blood draw done to test for latent or active tuberculosis. The deadline for completing this TB screening is 2 weeks from the first day of classes, and in the case of the summer semester, that would be May 23rd. And then the second part of the immunization requirement is includes MedProctor. So it's the policy of UC that students need to show proof of protection against certain communicable diseases. We have partnered with MedProctor to manage that requirement. You do not have to pay for this process. Students will receive a notification from MedProctor to their UC email address with instructions for setting up an account. Once you set up that account, you must upload a proof of immunizations to MedProctor. We highly recommend using the standardized form that's available within your MedProctor account. It's also available on the University Health Services website. So the first step is to review the immunization webpage on the UHS website to see what your required immunizations are. I just went over those a few slides ago, but that list is available on our website as well. So you'll want to respond to the invitation sent to your UC email address from MedProctor and register for an account. Once you've registered, download and print the standardized form. And then you'll make an appointment with your medical provider or here at UHS to get the required immunizations. Have your medical provider complete, sign, and stamp that immunization form, and then upload that completed form through your MedProctor online account. MedProctor will notify you by email if there are any outstanding items. The deadline for uploading all of your immunizations is June 13th for the summer semester. Now, again, that does not include the TB screening. That is a separate screening that needs to be done in the first 2 weeks of classes. The June 13th deadline is just for uploading all of your immunization proofs to MedProctor. So those are two separate items that need to be completed. If you do have questions about MedProctors, you can go to MedProctor's website and they have a support chat feature at the bottom right-hand corner of the webpage. If you have questions about immunization compliance or immunizations themselves, you can go to the University Health Services website. You can email us at uhstracking@ucmail.uc.edu, or you can call us here and ask to speak to a nurse. And then the last thing I'm going to go over is just some COVID resources. For summer semester, the requirement as far as COVID is that if you arrive to campus and have been in the United States for less than 10 days, you are required to have a COVID test. So as far as COVID resources, we have the UC Public Health website is the most up to date as far as COVID resources and answering questions and all of that. So you can go to our public health website. You can also email uccovidcheck@ucmail.uc.edu for COVID related questions. That would include anything like vaccines, testing, quarantine, anything like that. And then UHS is now offering COVID vaccinations. We are using Pfizer only. To make an appointment for that, you can call us here and select option 2. If you have been partially or fully vaccinated in your home country and have questions about next steps or additional doses, please call us here and select option 1 to speak to a nurse, and they can advise you on appropriate next steps for your specific situation. And that's all I've got.
Thank you so much, Amanda. That's some really helpful and useful information that you guys might want to have a look at a second time. We will be putting this video up on our YouTube channel. I think now we are ready to turn to our questions. And we have James here to help, and Katie as well. So James, first question. What happens if my visa expires while I am inside the US?
Well, if you're referring to the visa stamp in your passport, it's allowed to expire while you're in the US. The visa stamp in your passport is not your permission to remain in the US. Instead, it is your I-20 that's your permission to remain in the US. As long as that remains valid and you are pursuing the full-time program that's listed on the I-20, you can still continue to remain in the US. But make sure you do renew your I-20, extend your I-20 before it expires.
All right, and here's a follow-up. Can I renew my visa or my passport inside the US?
Visa stamps in your passport are only renewable at US embassies outside the US. There are no US embassies inside the US. But if your passport is going to expire, you can certainly contact your embassy here in the US to find out how you can extend or update your passport.
All right, what do I need to do to go home and then come back to the US?
As soon as you make your flight arrangements and you know you're going to be leaving the US, please submit the travel signature request e-form in iBearcats Global. This process can take 5 business days. What will happen at that point is we'll review your travel arrangements and then let you know if your I-20 has been signed for travel or if you have permission to come to our office to obtain a travel signature on your DS 2019 if you are in J1 status.
All right, how do I get a new I-20 if I change my major?
That's great. What you'll need to do is log on to iBearcats Global. There's an e-form there called Sources of Financial Support. Attach a letter from your department that says what program of study you're going into, along with updated financial documentation that are not more than 6 months old, and we'll issue a new I-20.
How do I get a social security number or an SSN for work?
Sure. As soon as you have a job offer on campus, you'll submit the employment verification onboarding e-form in iBearcats Global. We'll take a look at the job you're going to be doing on campus, whether that's for UC or for an on-campus employer that may not be UC, such as the food services courts that are here on campus. And then we'll issue you the documentation you need to apply for a social security number. This will include a letter from our office, as well as an application form and instructions on where and when to go to apply for your Social Security number.
Here we're back to I-20s. What if the end date on my I-20 is wrong?
Well, if it's wrong, let us know. We'll take a look at that and find out why you think it may be wrong. And if it is wrong, we'll then go ahead and issue an update on the I-20. If it's a case of where you're in your degree program and you've been here for a couple of years and you just need some more time to finish your degree, then we do have an e-form called the I-20 extension request, and we'll go ahead and get that taken care of. But that e-form does need to be submitted a couple of weeks before you're going to expire.
What do I do if my local address changes?
Very simply, update Catalyst. There's an address update section in Catalyst. Update that. That will update us, and then we will update the Immigration Service. It usually takes a few days for that process to go through those different systems, but very simply for you, just update Catalyst and we will take care of the rest.
Okay. How do I get a driver's license in the US?
Are you seriously wanting to drive in the US? Anyway, it's all good. We can help you with that as well. If you are interested in driving in the US, you can request a driver's license letter through iBearcats Global, and we'll issue a letter. Then you can take that letter along with your immigration documents down to our nearest Bureau of Motor Vehicles for Ohio, take a test. Hopefully you pass the test, and then they'll give you a driver's license. If you are interested in preparing for that test, because it can be very different driving here than it is anywhere else in the world, we do offer every semester a course that you can take here for a fee that will help you learn the rules of the road, help you with some practical aspects of driving. And we even have some cones and poles that you can borrow periodically to help you learn how to parallel park or park and things like that, so you can be better prepared for your test.
Awesome. All right, Katie, I think this is one for you. How do I make friends at UC?
Oh, good question. It's hard to make friends anytime you start something new, but I think my advice would be to just get connected and get involved. So, I mean, number one, you got iPals, and we're a great resource. So come into our iPal events. Like, again, we have that summer admit welcome picnic coming up this Friday. Also just looking at Campus Link and finding organizations that align with your interests and checking those out. They're generally available to like everybody. So highly recommend taking advantage of Campus Link, following us on social media to stay updated about what we got coming up. Great resource. Yeah, getting connected, getting involved. My best advice.
Great. That sounds good. All right, I think that's all of the questions that I'm seeing in our chat. And so thanks to the panel. Thanks to you guys for tuning in, and we look forward to meeting you here in the coming weeks, hopefully on Friday at the Welcome Picnic. And please, again, let us all know if you have questions. UC International, we put the email address in the chat, and Amanda will go ahead and put your email address and telephone number for University Health Services also in the chat. And please feel free to reach out to us with questions. We're here to help you. So again, welcome to UC. We are excited that you're here. And again, we look forward to meeting you. Thank you.